Ionic is supported on a variety of desktop platforms. In this lesson, I'm going to focus on macOS. I'll show you how to install the tools that I use and get the basics up and running as quickly as possible. We'll want to ensure you have all the command line and build tools installed before you write any code. So that's what we'll take care of here. Ionic makes heavy use of Node.js, a JavaScript-based runtime environment. You'll need Git and its related build tools. On a Mac, you probably already have it, but we'll make sure. And of course, you'll also need Ionic. Installing these items is pretty straightforward. You should be able to follow right along. On a Mac, most of the tools you need, if you don't already have them, can be installed through Homebrew. Homebrew bills itself as the Mac's missing package manager. There are a lot of tools and runtime packages available through Homebrew, so I recommend installing it if you don't already have it. You can install it by copying and pasting the commands shown on its homepage into any terminal window. Once we have Homebrew, we can look into installing Git, assuming you don't already have it. So first, let's see if you have it, which you can do with the git -- version command. If it's installed, you'll see a version number, probably 2 point something. If you have a version that says Apple Git, it probably means that you installed it through Xcode's command line tools, and this should be okay. If you don't have Git, or you'd like to upgrade it, you can install it through Homebrew. Simply issue the brew install git command. This will give you the latest appropriate version for your system. When it comes to Node and Node Package Manager, or NPM, my recommendation is to install a tool called the Node Version Manager, or NVM. It's a little more involved, but far more flexible in the long run. NVM is an elegant set of shell script functions to enable the most flexible use of Node you can imagine. Its primary purpose is to enable you to install and switch between multiple versions of Node and NPM instantly. So if you happen to have one project that requires Node 8, but another that requires Node 12, for example, it's easy to keep them both installed, yet still independent from one another. The more important features of Node revolve around root, or administrator access, or superuser. Once you commit to NVM, there's no reason ever to use sudo. In fact, you don't even need root access to install NVM. This is the recommended method to use on macOS, as it requires no commands not already on a stock Mac system. Once you've installed NVM, you can use it to install any version of Node you want. In this case, we'll install the latest stable version. Simply execute the command shown here to download and install the latest long-term support, or LTS version of Node. Because I'm using the Z shell on Catalina, I have to put this in quotes, otherwise it thinks it's a file name. There are other NVM commands available to you, allowing you to install and use different versions of Node. The most common ones are shown here, and I describe them in more detail on the course lesson page, just below this video. That's all there is to it. At this point, you should have all these tools installed and available to you. Next up, we'll install Ionic and create our very first application. I hope you're as excited as I am.